Okay, we went over or looked at a lot of scales to start with today. So let's talk about some of the main points of that. So, talked about what a key is. And basically, a key is a specific group of notes. So, with the key of C major, or key of C for short, and the key of A minor. So key of C and key of A minor, they're really the same thing because every major key has a relative minor, every minor key has a relative major. Always. No exceptions. So basically you have the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, or an easier way of thinking of it, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So remember we talked about looking at the piano. So all the white keys on the piano are natural notes. The black keys are either sharps or flats, depending on what key you're in will really determine if they're considered a sharp or a flat. So the key of C is the only one that has all natural notes. So you're going to be learning where all the natural notes are laid out on your fretboard. So what I want you to do is memorize one scale shape at a time. So the C Ionian first, also known as your C major scale, most important one because that's where all your theory is going to come from. So when we get into mode theory and we get into chord theory, that major scale is crucial to understanding all this stuff. So once you can play the C major scale from memory, not looking at the page, then work on D Dorian, work on adding that one to your memory. And then once you can play C Ionian and then D Dorian without looking at the page, then you can work on E Phrygian and so on. But until you get one memorized, don't even bother playing the other ones because it's just not going to help you learn them. It's just the way I like to talk. Good grief, I can't speak tonight. Think about it this way. If you're going to memorize an entire page of a book, if you try memorizing it by reading the entire page, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, you're going to have a hell of a time learning it. If you learn one sentence at a time, you'll be able to retain it a lot better. And learning one scale shape at a time is basically the same idea. Most people I've worked with, when they have trouble learning the scales, most of them it's because they just play all of them one after the next, and they wonder, how come I can't memorize it? It's like, well, you're trying to put too much information in at once. So doing it these little bite-sized pieces is the fastest approach. So memorize one scale at a time. We talked about using improvisation to practice the scales. So you already know how to do improv, but we could definitely talk about that more in one of these lessons if you have questions about it. In fact, we are definitely going to do some kind of improvisation with you so I can hear what you're doing and offer suggestions if need be. So things to search for, like go on YouTube, look up A minor backing tracks or C major backing tracks. You could even look up any of the mode names in there, so you can look up D Dorian backing track or E Phrygian backing track, and those will all work with any of the scale shapes you got up there. But yeah, just if you stay in just that one scale shape to begin with, you'll be fine. Just make sure you're in tune, because if you're not in tune with the backing track, then it'll sound terrible. And I mentioned, the blues backing tracks. Stay away from those right now, because these scale shapes won't necessarily fit with that. As I mentioned, like a C major or a C blues backing track, key of C blues backing track, there's a good chance they're going to use chords that will not be in the key of C major. So just, if it says blues on it, I'd stay away from it. So metronome practice. Steps to take. You're going to start at 60 beats per minute. You play the exercise correctly just one time, not 3, 5, or 100 times. Don't repeat it like crazy. Just stick to one time correct, then bump it up 5 beats per minute. Do it again. So let's say this exercise on screen right now, the first one you're going to do. Let's say you get to 180 on your first practice session. Write down the speed you got. Write it on the pages that you have. And then the next time you go to practice it, start at 60 again. Always start it at 60 and always increase by 5 beats per minute. And then write how fast you get after that. So yeah, always start at 60. So don't try and take shortcuts like starting at 80 or 100 the next day. I've had plenty of people do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, start at 60. So the rhythm here, so you basically demonstrated that you had it. Just make sure that your pick strokes are going to be going down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. And really make sure that those eighth notes are evenly spaced. So I'm going to do some demonstrations here. I'm not going to go up by 5 each time because this would be a very long video if I did. But starting at 60, this is how it should sound. And remember, the fingering I'm going to use on this, you're going to go first, third, fourth, then you're going to shift your hand over, pinky on 10, and then middle finger, first finger, and then hit that chord. So here we go. This is what it sounds like at 60 beats per minute. Double the speed, so 120 beats per minute. $160 beats a minute. $200. And your goal speed, 240. Good. Now, if you get that to 240 before the next lesson, email me back, tell me, and then I will give you the updated version of this so you can continue pushing your speed throughout the week. If you don't get to 240, it's not a big deal. All information we get from you each week, each practice session is going to be very important. So not important that you get up to 240 the first week. You will definitely be getting up to that though. Absolutely. And way past it too. Okay. So this one, I'm going to start working on your alternate picking while doing like scale type stuff. So the thing that I saw you do, I refer to it as accidental economy picking. Basically, you would do 2 downstrokes in a row, like changing strings, or 2 upstrokes in a row. And we want to make sure that we have you cultivate more of an awareness of what you're doing. I'm a big believer that strict alternate picking is the fastest approach, or the fastest method to produce notes as fast as you possibly can. So, yeah. Petrucci's a big alternate picker. I don't know if he does economy picking ever. I know he does sweep picking, but he's a monster alternate picker, yeah. And he's got big ass arms too. Let's see. Here we go. 60 beats a minute. This is what it sounds like. sure everything's going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up the whole time. Okay. 120. 160. 200. 240. This is your goal speed. Again, if you don't reach that within the first week, that's no problem at all. That's not expected of you. If you get it, that's great. And then tell me, and then I'll give you an update to this as well. But you'll definitely be getting eighth note stuff like this at 240, and then kind of progress to like triplets and 16th notes and whatnot. So yeah, here we go. First week, just give it your best shot. Make sure you track down all the speed stuff that you do. Very important. So yeah, write it on the page that I printed out for you. That'll be very helpful, because then I can see how you progress day to day. I think that covers everything. If I missed something, let me know. If you have questions, please email me, let me know. I will see you next week.